Coach, what did you feel like was the key to the possession and the attack in the first half, and how was that different than the way you played against Charlotte last week?
I don't think either team had much possession. We tried to. I mean, their tactics were to lump it long early, and so we had to win the head balls and then pick up second balls, and when the ball's in the air so much, it's hard to get it down and play. We competed better. I thought we didn't expect them to be so direct, but I think we handled it pretty well and limited their opportunities all game. It's disappointing. I think the second half we were, even after we went up 1-0, we were able to break pressure and get some even number situations. We just weren't clinical enough to get a clear look to maybe go up 2-0. Panicked a few times. I think when Steven had the goalie drawn out, he had a simple pass, and trying to, the crosses aren't good enough, or the final decision's not good enough. And, against a team like that, you got to try to find a second goal. And I think we tried, and, unfortunately, we didn't cover in the back. I mean, that stage of the game, to let someone get in behind us is a pretty big mistake. Where it wasn't like we were pushed high up the field. It's just a simple ball over the top where guy made a good run, and we got caught flat-footed, and still should have help coming over from the opposite side. But, we didn't. Guy finishes the goal, and it's disappointing. I mean, I think we played well enough today to get a result, but we didn't have a lot of opportunities either today. I know it was a tight affair, but one goal should hold up, especially when you're at home. So just go back and work hard this week, and hopefully put ourselves in a position to win next week against North Carolina.
Do you feel like some of those issues in the final third you were talking about is that caused by their defending, or did you feel like you guys had opportunities, you just weren't able to finish?
Well, it wasn't. Listen, when you have Robbie Mertz and Kevin Kerr and Kennardo Forbes, and the ball's in the air the whole game, but it's not the first time we've seen it. Teams struggle to win here. So some teams will just, every time they get it, pump it long. And if they try to play through us and they lose it, we can punish teams. So tactics are to pump it long. So we have players that are good with the ball on the ground playing an aerial game. I don't think it helped their performance, and they're in first place. So I think both teams would have had a better chance to win in some ways if a soccer game broke out. But that's how games are sometimes, and you may have that type of a game in playoffs sometimes. So I'm proud of the guys for staying tight the first half and finding a way to get in behind him. Nico made a good run, and to get our noses in front. I'm not thrilled that we. To me, I think it was a soft goal we gave up, and they weren't pouring on the pressure at that moment. I don't know, what was it, the 84th, 83rd, 84th? What was the goal?
It was 83rd.
I mean, we scored in the 59th.
52nd.
So, we went close to 30 minutes looking more likely to score another goal before they were going to score. And, I just think even in the 85th minute at 1-1, we have to be pushing. I mean, to me, I still think there's a lot of time and there's tired bodies. I would have liked to have seen us take a little more risk even at the end of the game to try to put them under the gun and see if we could still win the game. I don't think it's over at 1-1 just because it's a low-scoring game. I think we needed to try to win. We had a good crowd here, and I told them, just just had a brief talk, like, hey, it doesn't matter. We keep playing, and even at 1-1, we got to try to find a way to win the game. I think we kind of settled for a draw at the end, and for me, it's still important to keep fighting to get all 3 points.
I think you mentioned last night that you guys weren't going to play scared of Tampa. You guys weren't kind of go at them offensively, and even though the game did kind of revolve around a bunch of aerial duels, did you think you guys tried to offer enough going forward?
Well, I think they're the top team in the league, and I think we played too high. Kevin Kerr and Robbie Mertz were running forward every chance they got. We sent Ryan James and Jordan. I don't know that we could have sent any more forward. So to me, we when we could get the ball down, we had runners going forward, and we were trying to play. I mean, we were not immediately launching every ball out of the back. There were plenty of times our players played out of the back and were able to get the ball. So to me, I mean, we did what we set out to do. Tampa's a good team. They've given up maybe the fewest goals, or one of the fewest goal totals. They're hard to break down. Created a few chances, would have liked to create a few more, but they also have one of the better attacks, and I think we kept them quiet. I mean, a win against Tampa, they've lost once all year, so through 17, 18 games, they've lost once, and it's a game we should have won. So I have to be realistic with my guys. I mean, they got to get over the finish line, but they played well enough to win, and we certainly didn't sit and counter. I mean, I think we were quite positive when we first half, second half, we were trying to get forward, and I don't think the only time I thought we got tentative was after they tied it, and I wanted us to keep trying to get forward. And I felt like our backs dropped deeper. Thomas Van Kuyzel stopped pushing. He just stayed in the back. Now some is fatigue, but to me, at the end of the game, we should be closing the field. Every time we got forward, we should be trying to lock them in and play here. And I felt like there were a couple times late in the game, our backs were like, oh, we don't want to go too high. We may get caught. I think they were playing to protect rather. And that's the only moments that I felt like we weren't, trying to impose our will on the game.